Hey, what's going on YouTube? In this video, we are installing flexible solar panels on the top of my camper trailer. Coming up. So you might have seen some of the videos in the past that I've done on the solar panels that I have on top of the trailer, as well as my portable panels. I've done some videos on the Renogy panels that I use for portable, as well as the Dokio portable panels. On top of the trailer here, we have aluminum framed Renogy panels, which weigh quite a bit. The intention was to move them off the trailer when I go camping and then put them back on, and that would be where I stored them. So I only ended up doing that once, and it was kind of a pain. They're kind of heavy. Even having somebody help you get them up and down, it was still a little bit of a pain, so I only did it once. They've since stayed up there, and I used the flexible Renogy panels and the Dokio panel as a portable RV solar setup. So those panels have just been sitting up there, and they are connected, but they've been sitting up there and they're a bit heavy. So I want to reduce some of the weight on the trailer, and so that's what we're going to be doing. We're putting in these flexible Renogy panels. Now I have 4 100-watt panels up there right now, and I'm replacing them with 3 100-watt flexible panels. Again, this is more to keep the batteries charged while it's sitting, while I'm driving, a little bit while I'm camping, but most of the time the trailer's in the shade and they don't do as much as the portable ones, like my portable setup. But these are going to be significantly lighter, they're going to be lower profile, and I think that we're going to have a lot of advantages of using these. Also, since we're going to be swapping out these panels, I want to service the roof, refresh it, renew it, or whatever you want to call it, reseal it. This is a 2011 trailer, and it is now 2023, so it's about 12 years old. So when I take the panels off, I'm going to put some sealant down, but I'm going to do a separate video on that. Otherwise, this video is just going to get too long. So we're going to get up there and we're going to get to work. All right, it is a little breezy up here. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too much. So these are the panels that we have up here. I have 4 of them, and I got to remove these and the brackets. Now I did kind of design them in a way that I could detach one side, lift the panel up and tilt it, and then take this leg and attach it right here so that the panel would be tilted at an angle towards the sun. I've rarely done that. I've done it a couple of times, mostly while it's sitting here, not so much while I'm camping. Again, you can see how big and bulky they are, and they weigh quite a bit more. And in the effort to reduce the amount of weight on my trailer, I am also going to be removing the antenna. That's going to be a different video. Okay, so you can see that the panels are now off. You can see where the 4 of them were. Awfully dirty underneath them. Now we need to clean the roof. We're going to seal it, but we're going to jump right back from that because that'll be a different video. First, under each of the rivets, I put a piece of Eternabond tape. I wanted to help with the sealing. And then I'm going to put I'm putting lap sealant on the bottom side. I'm doing this to kind of try and adhere the middle to keep it from like flapping in the wind while I'm driving. And then I am screwing them down. I drug my finger through it as I'm trying to push it down. On the leading edge here, I put a little bit more of the lap sealant to try and like adhere it to the roof a little better because this is the leading edge. And then put a little bit more lap sealant over the top. I haven't done these screws yet, obviously. Then I'm putting it over the top. Now I'm concerned about this edge because I don't have very much to put the Eternabond tape on, because I'm going to go around the edges, go around all 4 edges with the Eternabond tape over the top. But there's not very much before I start covering up the solar cells. You can see them kind of in here, hopefully. There's maybe not even a full inch on this edge. I would have liked to have put it going the other way with this being the leading edge, but there just wasn't enough room side to side. My trailer is not as wide as some of the bigger trailers. It's only like 7 feet 6 inches or something like that. It's not like the 8-foot wide trailers. It's smaller. So I didn't have enough room to go the other way with it. So I put more lap sealant on this leading edge to try and adhere it to the roof. I am going to put Eternabond tape over the edges. One of the things I noticed in the reviews on these panels, and I thought it was stupid, somebody gave it negative reviews because they screwed it to the roof with these eyelets, and that's it. And then they were mad that they ripped off from their trailer or their truck or something like that, and all that was left was the eyelets. The panels were gone. Well, what did you expect? It's supposed to withstand hurricane force winds, and you expect it to stay where wind can get up underneath it and lift it up and then flap around? Yeah, I'm going around the edges with the Eternabond tape to keep that from happening. So here's how it turned out. I got the 3 panels down. I got Eternabond tape around the edges. I put it over some of the cables just to hold them in place. It kind of also protects them from the sun. It's not necessary. They're supposedly UV resistant, but I've had some of those connectors disintegrate, so I'm gonna cover those with the same stuff that I used to treat the roof. So I went around all of the edges with the Eternabond tape and got it all connected. So I knew I didn't have enough of the first roll of Eternabond tape, so I decided to try this tape right here, and it turns out that it's not very good. It's about half the price, but also half the adhesion. So I did about 3 edges of a solar panel, and it just didn't seem to be turning out quite right. I didn't feel comfortable with it, so I decided to stop what I was doing and order another roll of Eternabond tape. And I was just gonna leave it like that, but just something didn't feel quite right. So I went to go and remove that tape, and it came right off. The Eternabond tape does not come off easily. So you think you might be saving yourself a little bit of money by going with that other tape, but it might cost you more in the long run if you end up having to pull that up and get the Eternabond tape anyway, or it'll definitely cost you more if it comes up and you lose a solar panel off from there. So do yourself a favor, get the Eternabond tape. I'll put both links in the description, and I'll label the tape that not to buy so that you can check it out and see which one it is. But I will put in there specifically, don't buy this one. Get the Eternabond tape. So here's the numbers on the weight savings. Each one of these panels weighs 5.2 pounds. The other panels weighed 17.8 pounds each. Yes, we're down to 300 watts instead of 400, but that's okay because I have the portable solar that I run out into the sun. I'm usually parking the trailer in the shade. So we reduced the weight of this setup by 55.6 pounds. That's pretty significant, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. So when I turned the panels back on in the trailer, they were putting out 21 volts and 14 amps. Well, I guess it was something like 10 amps and 21 volts, and then it, because it's an MPPT, it changed it to 14.5 and like 14 amps, something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was going 14 amps into the batteries because they've been unplugged from the solar and from the house. They've been chilling for a couple weeks as I've been taking care of this. Over the last week, I worked every day doing cargo, 14-hour days, so I didn't have any time to get to this. So I'm finally getting a chance to finish this up. Not too bad of an install. If you had to run the wiring, obviously that'd be a much bigger project, but I've already done that. I did that in the past. I was just swapping out the panels, treating the roof. So in the next video, we're gonna go ahead and remove the TV antenna because I don't use it, I don't need it. So I wanna get rid of the extra weight, the potentials for leaks, and I guess the drag. Not that it's really gonna make any noticeable difference, but I'm trying to get rid of every little bit of weight that I can. ounces equals pounds, pounds equal pain. So I don't need it, I don't use it, so I'm just gonna remove it. So watch out for that video. And also in the future, I will have a video of the sealing of the roof. I'm kind of breaking that up because I removed the panels and did that section, then installed the panels. So it's kind of jumping back and forth between videos, I understand. So bear with me. Hopefully these flexible panels will help some of you guys out. There'll be links in the description for these connectors, the panels, the sealer that I'm using, and all that kind of stuff. They're Amazon links. It doesn't cost you anything extra to use them, but it does help the channel out a little bit when you do use those. So I guess that's it for this project. And until the next one, we will catch you then. See ya.